26 Celsius.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jackie. Today, I'm excited to say that I have overcome VR sickness in sim racing. No drugs, no home remedies like ginger or wristbands. Now, I can VR however long I want without getting sick, and here's what I did to overcome it. Before I dive straight into my process, I want to give you a little bit of a background of how severe my motion sickness is. I love driving. I bought my hairdresser Miata in 2006 and started autocrossing with it. Then I quickly realized that I get motion sickness very easily. I couldn't be a passenger for more than 3 runs. That's only 3 minutes. What happens? I puked, of course. It was okay if I was the driver. Those 1 to 2 minute runs don't affect me too much when I was the one driving. Fast forward 8 years later for my first track day. It was required for me to be a passenger in the beginning as I needed to learn the track and the flag stations. Well, that didn't go very well. I once again puked my guts out for the whole day. 10 times was not an exaggeration. That track day was a complete write-off for me, as well as the 2 track days after that. I tried again with pressure point wristbands without any luck. I tried gravel, or Dramamine in the US. It works a bit. However, it was very drowsy, and nobody wants you on the track falling asleep. Then I tried a scopolamine patch, like the ones you stick behind your ear for people suffering from extreme nausea. Let me tell you, that's the best drug until I ripped it off after my track day. I was suffering from motion sickness afterwards for the next 3 weeks. I have even visited an ENT specialist for this matter, but the doctor said if there is a trigger for the motion sickness, then it's just my oversensitivity to it, not a sickness. At this point, I believe this is more psychological than anything. I thought about giving up on track days and any sort of performance driving. My wife keeps asking me why I'm doing this to myself. I eventually came up with a method to handle my sickness after a track day. But this is not what this video is about. About 2 years ago, I picked up sim racing. Great! No motion, no sickness. I started with a flat screen TV in my living room. However, I find that I'm at a disadvantage when head-to-head racing online. I can't see what's beside me, and I cannot judge the apex of hairpins properly. I had a few options. Triple screens. The cost of 3 monitors and stands are way out of my budget, and given that I have my rig in my living room, my missus will never let that happen. Same goes for a single curve monitor. I just don't have the room for it. That's why I have decided to look into VR. It is the best solution in terms of dollar to immersion ratio. But I'm prone to motion sickness. How am I gonna do it? I've been lucky enough to have a friend who was able to lend me a headset before I had to commit to buying one. Alright, first thing after setting it up, I took it to spa with an R8 GT3. Nope, not the brightest idea. My stomach didn't feel very well right after exiting the pits at turn 1 and then crashing at Eau Rouge. I checked out a few videos online on multiple ways to overcome motion sickness. A lot of them deals with the recovery after you feel sick. Also, once I start feeling sick, I'm sick for the rest of the day unless I sleep it off. So here's what I did. The process that I'm going to tell you is going to take some time, about a month give or take, but I'm living proof that I can now strictly sim race in VR. Dedicate 5 to 10 minutes before bedtime for this, and I mean right before bedtime. Do whatever sim racing you need with your current setup prior to this, so you can still enjoy your sim racing for the day. Set your VR graphics settings to maintain a minimum of 80 to 90 frames per second. Have a VR centering button mapped to your wheel. Also, having a fan will help. Picking a track for your first outing. I picked a track that I was familiar with, easy if driven slow, with a variety of left and right turns, little to no elevations, and avoid hairpins. I picked Suzuka circuit in the BMW M4 GT4 in iRacing, because it was a car that I was also familiar with and have been racing with my single screen setup. Start with solo sessions and drive mid-track real slow to maintain mid-track. I always closed my eyes when I knew I was about to crash or spin. 1.5 laps in, I already felt uncomfortable and started heating up. At this point, I took off my gears and went straight to bed. Word of advice: do not overdo it, or else it's back to square one, or maybe worse. You're gonna be traumatized and you will forever associate VR with motion sickness. This same process took about a week. It was either the same speed, so I went for longer, or faster, harder on the brakes, but shorter time. However, I will do the same thing, go straight to bed just when I feel uncomfortable or when my body starts heating up. After about 2 weeks, I was able to get close to my flat screen driving speed, and I was already able to drive for 15 minutes straight without getting sick. That was my biggest encouragement, because I was able to feel the difference. By the 3rd week, I was able to explore other tracks, try to crash a car here and there to test my limits. Again, I went straight to bed when I felt uncomfortable.
You knocked your wheels out of alignment.
By the end of the 3rd week, I was able to take the Ferrari GT3 to Spa. At this time, I tried not to crash first. I got familiar with the VR, car, and track combination, and I was able to drive normally pretty quick. At this point, elevation changes at certain tracks were still throwing me off. By the 4th week, I did practice sessions at Alton Park in the MX-5 Cup car and hopped back to Suzuka in the GT4. I was able to drive for 30 minutes without feeling sick at all. Once I broke the 30-minute barrier, I was able to drive as long as I wanted after that. Now, I can hop on my rig and put on my VR, drive and crash all I want without getting sick. This method has helped me, and I hope that it will help you too. Please like and share this video to a friend who might be interested in sim racing in VR. Thank you for watching. Bye.